Welcome to the Be Happy Now show. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. I'm Claudia-Sam. If you know that you're here for a bigger reason, this is the place to be. Together, we ditch the self-care guilt and quit the go with less fear and more trust. Tune in to living life in alignment with your full potential. The Be Happy Now show starts now. Hello, welcome to an impromptu episode of the Be Happy Now show where I'm actually taking you on my walk. I don't know if you can hear, but I'm walking in gravel, and maybe you can hear the sounds of the waves in the background. The sound isn't that loud today, but it was really important that I just come in here and share the awareness I've been having. If you've been thinking that working on yourself is hard, so maybe like there's a part of you that's resisting even thinking about getting a coach, or even thinking about, diving deep, right? You might hear that. Let's dive into yourself and let's get curious about what's going on for you. What I want to speak to is directly to that term, working on yourself. Gosh, it sounds like I can just see this mine worker with one of these tools to dig into the earth, sweating, even though we can see on some images, I'm sure you've seen the image of this person working in the mine, and then you can see the gold coin just on the other side. Just keep going a little bit more and you'll get to the good stuff. What about, instead of thinking that coaching is about working on yourself, that it's about being present with yourself, presencing your capital S self. To me, that brought so much peace and calmness to my body when I tuned into that, because that's what it is. Coaching is about being present with who you are, with the experience of life that you're having, with the thoughts that are in a loop in your head, in your mind, that are preventing you from actually living out the abundant, joyful, happy, optimally healthy life that you're here to experience. So being present with these thoughts, being present with how the emotions flow through your body, being present with those intuitive nudges that you get, like the one I just received on this path, being like, okay, I need to share this with you, and honoring that. That happens by being present with the big S self, not by scrolling on social media or being on my phone while walking the dogs. You know what I mean? So what would that look like if you knew that there was a way for you to actually tap into a more joyful, calm, soulfully aligned life, connected and grounded into your dreams and your visions for what life can look like? Because if it's true that having a retreat center or supporting kids in a different country with the work that you do, or if it's true that some people can have their own jet, or that they can have multiple real estate investments, or if it's true that some people have high management positions and actually do well in it and manage their teams with a mindful approach, if it's true that that some people can move across the world, go through the ebbs and flows of life and get to what they're meant to do, like me. I moved from Canada to New Zealand, and that's possible. If for some people it's possible to make $25,000 a month, whatever the amount is, if it's possible for some people to leave their corporate jobs and start their businesses, if it's possible for some people to be in a relationship where actually they are respected and loved, and in which there's deep connection, and in which they can actually do things together, and they can thrive, and they can speak to one another. If this is actually a thing and it can happen and it's a possibility for some people out there, why can it be for you? You get to decide. Do you love yourself enough to go for what you want? Are you willing to be present with the wholeness of your life experience, the wholeness of your self, the capital S, soul self? Because you get to decide the extent at which you're available to see that, to be with what's there for you, and to, it's not about making these big changes. Like recently, I have had clients who made big changes, like getting a divorce. That just happens. Well, actually, it doesn't just happen. It took her 2 years to really, gather the courage and honor her inner nudges and trust that this was exactly the path for her. And then from these big decisions, they're big decisions because they may take time to actually get behind them. But then what happened is that once she did make the decision, then beautiful things started to happen. Doors started to open up. Softness started to inhabit her body. Peace, love, creativity, calmness, all of that was now abundantly coming her way and is abundantly coming her way. This is a thing of the now. So another example of a air quotes, big decision is another one of my clients who has been tuned in to how she didn't want to stay at her job that she's been at for over 20 years. And she actually wanted to move like hours away from where she actually lives right now. And it's a big decision because she knows that means that she is leaving behind history for her in her life. And yet, when she got behind that decision, it's because she was able to be present with the possibility of all the other opportunities and possibilities that will be available to her once she makes that decision. So she did. She is making that decision. She is in the process of actively getting behind that decision so that she can find the home that she's meant to live in for the next phase of her life. And the other job, because she's going to leave the job that she has now, and she's going to commit to communicating that with her loved ones. And I am just so in awe of seeing women trust themselves, their intuition, and especially be open to the abundance that is available to them. And that happens when we presence ourselves. So the whole point actually wasn't about how you have to make big decisions. Rather, you can also presence yourself to notice how the busyness actually hides emotions that you're not willing to see for the moment, and how busyness keeps you afloat or keeps kind of a shelter around what's really going on and what's the real fear here, and how imagine what it would look like if you were able to presence what's really underneath the thing that's keeping you so busy, so that actually you can find and honor your inner space and be able to hold that center so that you don't feel like your energy is drained by others or that the schedule is running your life. You don't have to live behind the busy. And that's one example of the smaller things that presencing yourself can support you in. And so I just am so anchored into presence and choosing our experience of life, because we're not here to be a dummy who gets kicked around and played by other people and other people's fears and other people's limiting beliefs and other people's agendas. You get to presence what you want. You get to presence where you're at so that you can present what you want. You are the leader of your life. And here on the Be Happy Now show, well, I help you to take these baby steps. So I'm so glad that you're here. And of course, join us in the Soul Connector Circle. If you want to do this work, if you want to dip your toes in the ocean that now I'm sure you hear, if you want to dip your toes in there, just get curious about what presencing yourself opens up for you in your life, come into the Soul Connector Circle, soulconnectorcircle.com. I'm so excited to see you there. Thanks for coming on the walk with me. Want to take a breath? Exhale. Roll the shoulders up and back, and when you're ready, take a breath in and out. All right, Soul Connector, thanks for being here.
You've been listening to the Be Happy Now show with me, Claudia-Sam. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. You are worthy of being you and of connecting to what stops you from living the life you are meant to live. Access more soul connection coaching at claudiasamcoaching.com.